it's Jessica, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. So it's going to be regarding some important news and information about what's currently going on here and on a global level regarding the pandemic. And so I'm just going to get straight into it with they're preparing us for COVID internment camps. And if you think this is too far off, just check out a few clips of what's already been happening in Australia.
Due to harsh new COVID lockdown measures, COVID camps currently under construction. Julia Conradson from the Gateway Pundit reports in late 2019, before the coronavirus was known to the world, very few, if any, people could have ever imagined a civilized Western nation would be building facilities that government thugs would be forcing citizens into against their will. Well, a year and a half later, and that's exactly where we are. It didn't take long in 1938 Germany either. The government of Australia will be building what they call a mandatory quarantine accommodation, which is set to open its first phase in early 2022. Or the camp will be named the Center for National Resilience. And government health officials are calling the experimental jab the golden ticket to freedom.
Howard Springs near Darwin is held up as the gold standard of quarantine. Separate cabins, on-site testing, catering, and so far, no known breaches. But the Queensland government reckons it can do better.
This is going to be a great boost for our defence against the Delta virus.
State Cabinet has signed off on the Wellcamp facility, first proposed 7 months ago. So Queensland will have 2 purpose-built quarantine facilities. The Commonwealth is backing one here on Defence land at Pinkenba near Brisbane Airport. There'll be rooms for 1,500 people by the middle of next year.
Call it a conspiracy theory, call it impossible, but one thing I know for sure is that history repeats itself. And if you look back to a point in history when masses of people were taken into camps, they were told a variety of things, like, this is for your own good, it's for your own safety, we're actually going to provide for you there, you're going to have jobs there, this is for your own protection. There's actually a book called How Do You Kill 11 Million People? And it's in reference to the Holocaust and the millions of Jews and others that were victims. And the answer is simple. You lie to them. You tell them it's for their safety. And by the way, don't just take this information from me. Check out the official CDC website. They're referring to it as the shielding approach. And what do you think these well camps that are being built and the shielding approach will be used for? Well, it's for your safety, of course. It's for your own good. It's for your protection. They're conditioning you. Their goal is to slowly desensitize people to the point where nothing that's happening, nothing that they enforce, none of the rights they strip away from you, none of that is seemed as too wild anymore. It's almost just accepted. It's just part of this new normal. Like, just think about this. At the start of all of this, let's say March 2020, when some people were concerned that the jab could become mandatory, most of our reactions were, that's impossible. Something like that could never happen because it goes against our rights. It's unconstitutional. That's just a conspiracy theory. To now, where our own administration is telling us they're pushing to mandate this. And already you can't have a job unless you have the jab, or you're going to get fired. And in other places, you can't go to the restaurants, you can't go to gyms, you can't go to grocery stores unless you have the shot. And taking tests to prove you're negative is no longer an option in many cities and states now because they're all pushing to make this mandatory. It's already happening. So you see, what was once impossible in a conspiracy theory now becomes a reality. And the thing is, it never goes from point A right away to point B. There's actually a process that happens in the middle. And that process is slowly desensitizing the people, getting them used to this new normal and this new way of life. And slowly but surely, people become used to all these crazy measures that don't even make sense. It defies logic, but they don't even question it. They just accept it. And it's from the process in the middle that people are able to get from point A, this is impossible, it's unconstitutional, it goes against our rights, to point B, where they don't even see it as an infringement of our rights anymore because they just accept it as normal. Like, oh yeah, no, that's normal. If I don't forcefully put something in my body, then I can't work, I can't eat, I can't shop. But no, yeah, that's just part of the new normal. This reminds me of an interview from almost 40 years ago with a former KGB agent, Yuri Bezmenov, who talks about how to brainwash a nation. And the first stage is demoralization, which takes about 15 to 20 years. And the reason it takes so long is because that's how long it takes to teach and expose an entire generation of students to the ideology you want them to accept. And that's already happened to America long ago. I mean, our values, our morals have just really gone downhill. That's not really that hard to see. The second stage is destabilization, which is our economy, everything just pretty much destruction, going downhill. The third stage is a crisis, so in this case, a global pandemic. And this third stage is really where things get so out of hand and people are just beginning to long for normal. They want to go back to the way things were. They're eager to return to have some sense of normalcy, which brings us to the last stage, which is normalization. This is where they introduce this new normal, this agenda they want to push on the people for them to accept it as normal. They're introduced as this, here is a sense of what's going to be your new normal from here on out. And if you think this is too far off, that's what the Soviet Union did. And if you think something like this is impossible to happen here, well, once again, history repeats itself. And take a look at the Holocaust. People didn't think those camps would result in what it did because they thought it was for their own good, for their safety. So guys, we really need to wake up to what's currently happening and what's going on around us. Guys, this is not the time to mess around. The Bible prophesied thousands of years ago that these things would happen, and they're currently unfolding right in front of our eyes. Now's the time where we really need to get right with Jesus and get closer to God and our relationship with Him and truly seek Him now more than ever. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video so we can get the message out there. And until next time, bye!